Welcome, everyone. Thank you for coming, Jay Baba. This is a seated reading of a play I wrote. Hey, forget about it. There's a longer subtitle. You'll see that. And it's about an hour. It will be, and we're recording it, as Angela says. So, this play is a contemporary humorous version of a story that Baba used to tell, and Erich would repeat in Monley Hall, and maybe most of you have heard it. It's about the story is that there was a thief, a murderer, who was terrorizing a certain district in India, and people were afraid of him. He was a terror, and then there's also a perfect master who lived in that same area, and the perfect master was going by in procession one day, and the thief saw him and had some awakening, and decided he wanted to change his life, give up his evil ways, and he went to the perfect master and asked him to told him what he wanted, and he wanted to surrender to the perfect master. He wanted to give up being a thief, murderer, and the master said, "Okay, but you have to do what I tell you." And the thief said, "Yes. So I want you to go sit in the middle of the main road and just sit there and don't move until I tell you otherwise." So the thief did that, and days are going by. He was a big, strong, fierce guy. And after several days, the local kids realized he wasn't going anywhere, so they were teasing him, throwing stones at him, calling him names, but he just sat there calm and happy to obey the perfect master. One day, like a week later, he's losing weight. He's not eating. A week later, this horse man on a horse came, a very arrogant person who was a messenger from the king, and he ordered this thief, this man who was squatting there in the road, to move, and the thief didn't respond, and he's yelling at him, "Move, get out of the way, you're blocking me." And finally, the king's messenger lost his temper, and he had a horse whip, and he started whipping the thief. And the thief's taking it, and the messenger is verbally abusing him and kicking him. And finally, the thief, who had a fierce temper, he just lost it. He couldn't take it anymore, and he stood up, grabbed the messenger, punched him a few times, and killed him. And as it turned out, that was the point of the story is that was the thief's 100th murder, right? And it just so happened that the king's messenger, was carrying a order from the king to his general, who had 100 captives, and the order was that he wanted the king wanted the general to kill those 100 captives. So inadvertently, the thief saved the lives of 100 captives by committing his 100th murder. And the point of the story is that he balanced out his murder karma. He didn't get God realization right away, but he had 100 murders to pay off karmically, and he balanced it out like that by saving the lives. And that was through the direct order of the perfect master. And again, the point is that it's not about being good or bad, or our ideas of conventional morality when it comes to a perfect master are what appears to be evil to us with our conventional morality mindset is exactly what that person or the situation needs, right? And that's beyond comprehension. So, all right,
Joe,
so
did you say 100 murders?
100 murders, yes.
He was an amateur. Okay.
All right, all right, good. Okay, so hi, Betty. So this is I wrote this contemporary version of that story. All right, and here we go. And this is going to be a seated reading. We're putting the script up, and you'll see us in thumbnails. And this way you can follow along, okay? And it's voice acting. And then, like I said, it takes 1 hour.
All right. The name of the play, forget about it. Dr. Seuss meets The Sopranos meets Meher Baba. Cast, myself as the narrator, LUCA, Paul Fusco, Peter, Joe DiSabatino, The airline flight attendant is Angeli Chen. Woman passenger, also Angeli Chen. News reporters, Sandra, Ruth Appel, Joe DiSabatino, and Rebecca, Angeli Chen. 3 passengers, the time is present. 3 passengers are seated on Air India Flight 7756 nonstop Newark, New Jersey to Mumbai. The jet is awaiting takeoff in a holding pattern at the top of the runway. LUCA is seated in the aisle seat, Peter in the middle seat, and the woman passenger is in the window seat. LUCA is wearing a mafia-style outfit, black shoes, black slacks, black shirt, and a white tie. He also has a large Baba button pinned to his shirt. Peter is in business casual clothes. LUCA is tapping his foot impatiently and looking around. Peter is busy working on his open laptop. Woman in the window seat is reading a magazine. Peter makes guttural noises indicating frustration while punching laptop keys hard. He appears overtired and stressed out. Soothing India music plays at low volume in the background. The flight attendant speaks into a handheld mic.
The captain reports that we're still awaiting permission for departure. We would like to thank you for your patience. The captain asks that you remain in your seats with your seatbelts securely fastened. Again, we apologize for the delay. The captain says you may continue to operate your electronic devices until further notice. You are on Air India Flight 7756, non-stop from Newark, New Jersey to Mumbai, India. Our new estimated time of arrival in Mumbai is 11:50 p.m., September 16th, India time.
Lucas strains to look out window, then changes his watch settings.
What is this, Lincoln Tunnel at 5 o'clock? Would have got to Mumbai faster if I jumped a banana boat down at the dock.
Turns to Peter, extends his right hand.
Hey, pal, mine's Luca. Luca Bentonelli, Americanized to Benton. I live down the Toyne Park, just outside of Trenton.
Peter, surprised, extends a limp hand.
Oh, hi, mine's Peter.
Peter's cell phone rings.
Excuse me. Hello?
Peter listens for a moment, then gets very annoyed.
I can't possibly do that by tomorrow night, Tom. I'm only one person, for God's sakes. Look, I'll call you when I arrive in Mumbai. I need to polish up on the Bangalore proposal. It's a mess. Okay, later.
Peter hangs up even more irritated and frustrated, resumes pounding away angrily on his laptop keys.
Sounds like you got important business in old Mumbai.
Peter ignores him. Luca nods his head up and down, smiling.
Me too.
Sings That's Amore very loudly.
When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie.
Peter gives him an annoyed, disbelieving glance.
That's amore. Sorry, pal. Didn't mean to disturb you.
Luca continues whistling the tune for a few bars.
The boss man threw you a big curve, huh?
Peter, not looking at Luca.
Yeah, you wouldn't believe the crazy pressure I'm under.
If you don't mind me being a little newsy, what company's got you in such a floozy?
It's such a what?
I mean, who do you work for, pal?
Google.
Google, huh? Mega bucks in their banks. So what's your rank?
Rank? I said Google, not the Marines.
Luca becomes
Hey.
menacing all of a sudden.
Hey, buddy, don't get funny with me. Just don't say nothing if you want to secrecy.
Look,
Peter's backing off.
look, sorry. I've been under tons of pressure lately. Okay, if you want to know, I'm the Vice President and Chief Information Technology Specialist for all of Google's Southeast Asia operations.
Luca whistles.
Gotcha. Pretty highfalutin IT. It's all Greek to me.
What do you do?
Actually, I'm a bit of an IT geek myself.
Peter, suddenly wary,
Oh, really?
closes his laptop.
What do you work for?
Hey, relax, pal. No need to get paranoid. Let's just say I'm a private contractor, a solo boy. Where I work, IT means indefinitely terminated.
I see. So you're one of those corporate hatchets who goes in after a hostile takeover and fires 75% of the staff, right?
You might say that. When I'm done working, there's not much laughter. But usually it's only one guy I'm after.
Ah, I see. I got you. The CEO. I guess someone's got to do the dirty work.
Yeah, that's right. The head honcho. But not the CEO, the CAPO.
Hey, look, I like to keep talking to you, but I got a major proposal here to clean up.
Sure, I can take a hint.
Leans forward and speaks to the woman in the window seat.
Hey, excuse me, ma'am. You got any mints?
No, sorry.
Luca stands and leans over, trying to look out the window.
Excuse me, sir. There's nothing much to see out there. Just empty runways and fields.
Hey, thanks, lady. So who asked you? What are you on The View?
Pardon me?
Hey, sorry, forget about it, lady. I'm just a bit antsy, kind of wired. I ain't exactly a frequent flyer.
Obviously.
Luca mimics her.
Obviously. What are you from the Upper East Side? Hey, forget about it. Keep your cheesy portholes shut for the entire ride.
Whistles with fingers in his mouth.
Hey, stewardess, hey, over here.
Can I help you, sir?
I'd like a brandy on the rocks, heavy on the brandy. All this sitting around and waiting to depart's making me whammy.
I'm sorry, sir, but we won't be serving drinks until we're in the air and the captain turns off the seatbelt sign.
What kind of tin can is this? A metal dry tank? Thanks for nothing.
I'm sorry, sir. Those are the rules. We won't be serving drinks until the captain turns off the fasten seatbelt sign.
Never mind, forget about it. Rules are rules. You're just doing your job. Jeez, it's like being back in school.
Peter resumes working. Luca talks to him anyway.
You know, buddy, when I was your age, and I was pretty young for my age, before my first big hit, even before my first taste of lager, I heard about this here spiritual capo
Touches Baba button.
who lived in the Indian desert near a town called Ahmednagar. He sang me a song I'll never forget. At least, well, I ain't forgotten it yet.
Peter gives Luca an exasperated look.
You know, he lived in a terribly prickly spot. The kind of place so bleak and hot, really wet. Ah, but when he sang, such a sweet smile on his face. I felt like rain inside my brain. And now I'm finally on my way to find that place.
Peter gives Luca a if looks could kill stare.
Now listen carefully, buddy. Let me tell you what he taught me. He said, when you think things are heading south, when you're feeling all sour and you had your fill, when you're fed up and like ready to kill.
Peter stands up abruptly to Luca.
Excuse me.
In the aisle to the stewardess whispers.
Can I change seats? I can't sit next to that guy for the next 20 hours. Are there any unoccupied seats on this flight?
I'm sorry, sir, but all seats are accounted for. You must return to your seat as we are awaiting takeoff.
Great. The joys of cutting costs by flying economy class.
Peter stumbles back over Luca and sits down. He dials his cell phone and holds a hand up between him and Luca, blocking his mouth. Luca pretends not to eavesdrop. In a loud whisper,
Honey, it's me. We're still on the runway. Yeah. You won't believe the clown in the seat next to.
Luca gives Peter a hostile glance.
So, are the kids in bed? Good. I gotta find a new job. All this traveling's killing me. I know. Okay, okay, I will. I will. Yeah, okay. I love you too. Bye.
Hey, pal, I ain't joking around. This is serious stuff. And that ain't all he said. That wasn't enough. This here spiritual capo told me, he said, just tell yourself, Ducky, when you think you've reached your limit, you're not really stewed, 'cause there's so many people out there much, much, much more whole lot worse than yous.
Is that so?
Now, ain't that a great philosophy to live your life by? He turned my whole life into cherry pie. It's like there's nothing really worth trying to get. It's like he's telling us, forget about it. Forget about what's going round and round inside your stupid head. Forget about your whole miserable self, 'cause someday you're dead. Hey, Peter, come over here. Listen to me. This whole ego shell of yours is the scene of a major crime. So just forget about you, me, mine, and mine. That's his teaching. That's what's real. You gotta learn to forget about it, 'cause it ain't no big deal. You know what I mean?
Peter gives up trying to work. He shuts his laptop. Peter throws his arms up, exasperated.
All right, okay, I give up. You know, what's your name again?
Luca. Luca Bentonelli. Americanized to Benton.
Luca, maybe there's something to what you're saying. Can I tell you something personal?
Luca points his index finger like a gun.
Sure, fire away.
I'm totally fed up with my whole life right now. Except for my wife and kids, everything's totally, just totally, um,
Hey, I can see that, buddy. I can see that in your demeanor. You lost that old joy de vivre. Your life keeps getting meaner and meaner.
that about sums it up.
So, like I've been telling you, forget about it. Today, everybody's struggling just to get by, and everybody's singing a losing battle cry. There ain't no good alibi, if you know what I mean. So, forget about it. I'm talking about your full self. That's my mantra. And that ain't coming from old Blue Eyes. You know who I mean? Mr. Frank Sinatra. No, them wise words came straight from her spiritual sage.
He taps his Baba button. Peter looks at it.
Buster, right now you're eyeballing the capo de tutti capi of the age.
I just feel so depressed all the time. It doesn't make sense. I mean, I got a big promotion and huge salary increase last year.
Listen, buddy, don't you, of all people, go feeling blue or nothing. Don't you dare get down in the dumps. Not with your client of blue chips Google's dealing you in such humongous lumps.
Peter, loud and defensively.
Money has nothing to do with it. I've got a right to feel sorry for myself sometimes. I'm an ordinary human. I'm not Mother Teresa, for God's sakes.
Luca responds with equal forcefulness.
Oh, you make me want to cry. Well, buddy, you just consider yourself damn lucky. You don't live on a dusty boulevard in old Mumbai.
Peter backing down.
Yeah, I suppose. I suppose I should be counting my blessings.
Luca, his face close to Peter's.
Peter, buddy, look me straight in the mug. 'Cause what I'm gonna say next, despite what you might be thinking, ain't coming from no thug.
Peter obeys.
Look, it ain't you. It's this crazy age lives in that bent. Trying to be happy in today's world, it's like building a house near a volcano that's spitting lava. You may as well try swimming tied to a bag of cement. And what, and that's why you need a spiritual capo like this here Avatar Meher Baba.
Is he one of those gurus? But why?
Why? Why? To untangle your sanskaras. 'Cause they're like a big bowl of spaghetti or an overgrown forest. That's why. Are you ready?
Luca jumps up excited and yells.
Hey, all you people, I'm on a roll. I'm really hot. I'm on a damn roll, like it or not.
Flight
Sir,
attendant running over.
sir, sir, please do not leave your seat. We cannot have outbursts like that on the aircraft. Please calm down and remain seated.
All right, all right. Sorry. What is this? A flying church? No swearing, no drinking.
Sits to Peter again in a quiet voice.
Speaking of church, I swear to you, mister, if this can don't take off soon, I'm gonna quit the mafia and become a Catholic priest. At least they can drink like morning to noon.
Peter, long, disbelieving pause.
Did you just say quit the mafia?
You heard me, right?
Luca pulls a small rubber flask from his shirt and hands it to Peter.
Want a swig?
No thanks. I never imbibe while flying.
Luca mimics Peter,
I never imbibe by flying. Suit yourself.
takes a long swig, wipes his mouth with his sleeve.
That's better. I'm really doing it. Going to India makes me want to cry. When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore. If it weren't for my main man here, no
Poke-
way would I be flying. Peter, my man, he hit me square in the heart. Bam! Bullseye.
May I ask you a personal question?
It all depends.
Who actually hires you on a contractual basis?
Luca stands and grabs Peter by the collar,
Who do you think? Disneyland? That's who.
slams down the flask.
Jesus.
Flight
Sir,
attendant.
sir, I'm afraid you will have to notify airport security if you...
No better, no butter. No butter, no butter. No better. Nobody better touch me again. I've already been patted down more times getting into this paranoid airport than I was getting into Vinny the Ocean Palermo's birthday party in Hoboken. Jeez, you guys run a tighter ship than John Gotti did in the Bronx.
Stewardess leaves. Luca shakes his arms to create space around himself.
Jeez, it's cramped in here. I ain't felt this crowded since I camped out in the car trunk waiting for Big Al Grosso to leave his bunk.
Pats his jacket for his gun.
Speaking of which, I feel like a crab out of its shell without my piece. Ah, forget about it. It don't matter. To answer your question, whenever my family needs a certain kind of job done,
Changes his mind.
hey, listen to me now. I'm starting to squeal.
Touches his...
Never mind. Just like him, my lips are sealed.
Hey, sorry I asked. But let me see here if I have this right. You're in the mafia and you follow a spiritual teacher from India named Meher Baba. Am I correct?
You got it, Buster.
Well, do you find any, let's say, conflict of interest there?
Whoa, buddy. Now you just hold your horses.
Removes Baba's discourses from his briefcase.
See this here book of discourses?
Points to Baba on the cover.
I want you to take a good look at his face. Take a mental snapshot of his grin and store it somewhere for good inside your noggin. Go ahead.
Peter stares at Baba's photo.
All right, I did that.
Good.
Looks around.
Now slide over here, because I'm going to give you some valuable advice. I don't give to just any old body. Lean over. Come closer.
Luca and Peter lean into each other.
If you're smart, you'll take all your cash assets out of your bank, everything you own, and drop it to win, show, and place on his white horse. Catch my drift? He's a sure winner, sleek and fast. Bet on his horse, and he'll take you all the way home ahead of the pack. On the other hand, If you're trying covering the race on your own, the horse you're betting on is gonna come in dead last. Because the name of that sorry-ass pony is My Ego. You know what I'm talking about, amigo?
I think I'm catching your drift.
I learned that lesson the hard way. No, don't do as I done did, kid. Just do as I say. And you're gonna be all right. You're gonna stay clean. You see this guy here,
Points to Baba.
and I'm telling you, an inside secret very few have heard. This guy here, he's the capo tutti capi for the whole world. Bigger than that, the whole universe. He's the grande capo de tutti capi. You know what I mean? You get my drift.
Slowly nods. Peter imitates his nods.
Compared to him, Lucky Luciano ain't worth a rotten peanut. This here man's gonna give you protection on any street, anywhere in the whole world. You hear me? You stay loyal to him, and I mean it. You won't catch any heat,
Makes a gun with his fingers.
and you don't have to pay up by the week neither, 'cause the protection he gives don't cost nothing. And anybody you meet got a problem with that, you tell him Fast Finger Luca Bentinelli told you. Here's his calling card.
Hands Peter a Baba card.
If you're ever in a jam, you tell him this man here
Whispers Baba's name in his ear.
is your main capo. This ain't no flim flam. Here, have another one in case you lose the first.
Hands Peter a second Baba card. Peter stares at Baba card. Flight attendant over loudspeaker.
Please prepare for takeoff. Make sure your seatbelts are securely fastened and your seats are in the upright position.
Sound of jet engines revving. Luca looks over woman passenger's shoulder.
Excuse me, miss. Don't mean to disturb you. Looks like we're really taking off. The engines are revving. Jesus, I'm scared to death of flying. This might be my first time up in the air. I ain't lying.
He takes another long swig.
Just look at me. I'm sweating like a snowball in Bermuda.
He unlatches his seatbelt.
I ain't wearing this stupid thing. This damn chair reminds me of the one in Sing Sing. You know, I'm planning to doze off from here to there. That's right, the whole time we're up in the air.
He snaps his seat back as far as it will go. He pulls a blanket over his head for a few seconds, then pops his head out.
Hey, Peter, my traveling buddy, do me a big favor, will you? Wake me up loud as you can when we're winging it over the Vatican. God, I hope I don't get violently sick. I want to wave to Il Papa. My mama asked me. She's a devout Catholic.
Sound of jetliner taking off. Luca covers his head with a blanket. Peter stares at Baba card, then at Luca, then at card. Woman passenger looks up from her magazine. Peter gives her the extra Baba card. Woman passenger smiles broadly.
Oh, J. Baba,
She hugs Peter.
are you going to Mehrabad too?
3 hours later, WMBF newsroom, Myrtle Beach. Now there's some breaking news. CNN is reporting a commercial airliner has been hijacked over the Atlantic. We go to John Fields in New York for the latest. John?
Thank you, Sandra. A few moments ago, Air India officials announced that Air India Flight 7756 Newark to Mumbai lost contact with its control tower around 12:35 a.m. this morning, about halfway across the Atlantic on its nonstop flight to Mumbai, India. Frantic cell phone messages from passengers indicate that two men wearing black masks broke into the cockpit and apparently overpowered the pilot and co-pilot. Passengers could hear a struggle in the cockpit and then all went silent. All radio and transponder communications with the plane have ceased. More updates on this emergency as they come through. Back to you, Sandra.
20 minutes later, We go back to we go back to John Fields in New York with an update on the plane hijacking. John, what's the latest?
Thank you, Sandra. Air India officials are now reporting that texts coming from passengers aboard Flight 7756 indicate that a male passenger has managed to break down the locked cockpit door with an axe. There was a struggle again in the cockpit as several men rushed to assist him. Apparently, the hijackers have been killed. This is all we were able to report at this time. Who is flying the plane remains a mystery. Back to you, Sandra.
15 minutes later. We go back to John Fields in New York with the latest developments in the plane hijacking. John?
Well, Sandra, we have been informed by Air India officials that the hijackers are indeed dead. And it appears that the courageous passenger who first stormed the cockpit is now in the pilot seat flying the plane. Air India reports that radio and transponder communications have been restored. They say that all electronic signals indicate that the plane is maintaining a steady and true course. It has been redirected to Tenerife Airport in the Canary Islands. The identity of the passenger flying the plane has not been established. Air India officials are assuming he is an experienced commercial pilot, but who he is remains a mystery. So the next big question is whether or not the mystery pilot is capable of landing the plane safely in Tenerife in the dark. Back to you, Sandra.
1 hour later. We now go to our reporter on the scene at the Tenerife Airport, Rebecca McDonald. Rebecca, can you describe the situation at the airport?
Yes, thank you, Sandra. I am on the top floor of an office building, about a half mile from the airport, with reporters from around the world. The airport has been evacuated, except for emergency crews. From where I am standing, I have a good view of runway 4, where the plane is expected to land in a few minutes. As you can see, fire trucks and ambulances line the runway. All lights at the airport have been turned off except runway 4 lights, and of course all departing planes have been grounded and all incoming flights redirected. The tension in this room, and I'm sure at the airport, is off the charts. On the bright side, Air India has announced that the plane is on course, continues to descend in an optimal manner. Whoever that pilot is certainly knows what he's doing. Wait a second. I think I see a light in the sky. It must be, yes, Flight 7756. I'm told, indeed, that it is. Sandra, I have never prayed on the air, but I feel compelled right now to ask God to bring the plane down safely. Please excuse me, but there are 270 passengers on board, including 6 children and crew. I'm going to describe what I see as it happens. The lights from the plane grow larger and brighter as it continues to descend in a straight and steady manner, as if a guiding hand is bringing it back to earth. It looked like, it's about a mile away, descending slowly and steadily, the wheels fully extended. A half mile. Oh my God, its approach is lined up perfectly with a runway center line. Now it's over the tarmac, down. The rear wheels have touched down with barely a puff of smoke. And now the plane gently drops forward as the front wheel makes contact. What a silky smooth landing. The wing flaps go down as it cruises to a stop, not veering left or right. Oh my, what a perfect landing. God himself couldn't have landed that plane any better. Can you hear the cheers in the room? What a hero! What a hero! Ambulances now rush to the plane as the doors open and stairs are moved into place.
1 week later. Let us now go to Rebecca McDonald, who is in the main hospital in Tenerife, where the injured passengers are being treated. Rebecca, the identity of the mystery pilot was released today. Can you tell us what you know?
That's correct, Sandra. 30 minutes ago, police here in Tenerife released the name of the mystery pilot and hero who landed the hijacked plane without a hitch. We've been told he is LUCA Benton from Trenton, New Jersey. Unfortunately, While struggling with the hijackers, Mr. Benton sustained a serious injury to his right eye, permanently damaging his vision to that eye. Mr. Benton has kindly agreed to a live interview.
Rebecca and camera crew enter Luca's hospital room. A black patch covers his right eye and his left arm is in a sling.
Thank you so much, Mr. Benton, for agreeing to this interview.
Waves at the camera.
Ciao, mama. Ciao, mama. Ti amo, don't you worry. No, your boy Luke is doing fine, even if I am half blind. The doctors here are top notch. The food's good, and so's the scotch. Mama, they want to throw me a big parade with confetti, but I'd rather be back home. I miss you spaghetti.
Excuse me, Mr. Benton. May I?
Call me Luca. Hold on, Mama.
Luca. Okay. Right now, you're probably the most famous man in the world, a true hero. How does that feel, knowing you saved the lives of 270 passengers?
Well, to tell you the truth, I ain't happy about all this publicity. I'm kind of alone and I don't want no pity.
Luca, you risked your life going after the hijackers, and then you took control of the plane and somehow brought it down safely. I understand you deny knowing anything about piloting an aircraft. You even told the authorities that this was your first time ever on an airplane and that you have a fear of flying. Surely, this can't be true.
Like I told the CIA, the FAA, and the Spanish cops, wasn't me who brought the can down to a safe stop. I'm telling the truth. The whole time I sat in that pilot's seat, my hands were trembling and so were my feet. I never once touched none of those crazy levers or buttons. I was too scared, so I just did nothing.
If you didn't fly the plane, then who did?
Luca holds up a framed photograph of a smiling Meher Baba.
He did it. He's the universal pilot. He took control. He saves our lives. He saves our souls. Take a good look, people. This is the capo grande, capo de tutti capi. He'll fly you straight home non-stop. He's your real Poppy.
I don't understand, Luca. How could this man?
All right, I tell you. This man's name is Mayor Baba. After I dispatched the hijackers, silenced their screams, I laid this here photo on the console screen. Then I prayed and prayed, and sure enough, Mayor Baba came true, 'cause he's got the right stuff.
Luca, thank you so much for your time today. I'm sure you must still be exhausted from your ordeal, so we'll leave you to rest.
Adio, Mama. Oh, I forgot to tell you, I'll be sure to wave to Il Papa when we fly over Roma.
He blows kisses to his mother.
Ti amo, Mama. Miss Rebecca, thank you so much. Before you leave, can you bring me some more scotch?
Rebecca from outside Luca's room in a soft voice.
It appears that Mr. Benton has been traumatized by his ordeal. His recollection of what actually took place in the cockpit may not be available to him for quite some time, the poor man. Back to you, Sandra.
6 weeks later. Mumbai International Airport, Air India Flight 3327, nonstop Mumbai to Newark. The jet is awaiting takeoff in a holding pattern at the top of the runway. As before, Luca is seated in the aisle seat. He wears a black patch over his right eye. Peter in the middle seat, and woman passenger in window seat.
The captain reports we are still awaiting permission for departure. We would like to thank you for your patience. The captain asks that you remain in your seats with your seatbelts securely fastened. Again, we apologize for the delay. The captain says you may continue to operate your electronic devices until further notice. You are on Air India Flight 3327, non-stop from Mumbai to Newark, New Jersey. Our new estimated time of arrival in Newark is 9:34 a.m., November 4th, Eastern Standard Time.
LUCA sings.
When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore. When the stars make you drool just like pasta fazool, that's amore. Peter, mi caro amico, come stai?
Luca, I'm so glad to see you again. I'm fine. You know, that whole experience changed my life. Ever since, I've been feeling gratitude for everything: the blue sky, the sunshine, the grass, the trees, my family. Sometimes I have to fight back tears in the middle of a business meeting, tears of joy.
Listen to you, bro. You're making me cry. Your heart's awake now. You were sleeping before. Peter, sometimes you gotta stare death in the eye before you find what makes life worth living for.
So, how was your stay at that ashram? What's his name again? Baba somebody?
If I had to lose both my eyes to go there, I'd do it and more. There ain't no words to describe what I felt at the Samadhi door. Mayor Baba's his name. I told you not to forget it, didn't I?
Samadhi? What's that?
That's what they call the shrine, where Mayor Baba's interred. Someone said, "Welcome home," so I stepped on in. Right away, I started crying. Geez, like a baby bird. My body went limp as boiled linguine, my mind unhinged. I was melting inside. My heart caught fire. His love poured into me and fanned the flames. What I'm telling you is the truth. I ain't no liar. Night and day, all I do now is repeat his holy name.
Whoa. So you too, your heart came alive. I'm so happy for you, Luca. But what's next? I can't imagine you continuing in your line of work.
You're right, Peter. My whole life is kaput. It's dead and done. You see, inside the Samadhi, I had a vision, clear as day. No more sneaking around at night. I'm selling my gun. A new life opened up inside. I heard him say, "Luca, move to Meribad and open up a pizza joint. Bring your mama, too. She can soon roll the dough. Feed my lovers Italian cuisine and you'll score big points." Peter, I feel like I found the jackpot at the end of the rainbow.
Wonderful. I can see it now. Luca, can I ask you another personal question? You don't have to answer it if you don't want to.
Go ahead. Fire away. I mean, ask me anything you want.
Okay. In the course of your mafia career, how many individuals you know what I mean?
So you want to know, huh? Well, I never really added them up. I got my assignment book with me. I can do some quick calculating.
Luca takes a notebook and a pen from his travel bag, slowly pages through it, and writes occasionally as if adding figures. Finally, he rips a sheet of the notepaper, writes something on it, and hands it to Peter. Peter stares at the paper with raised eyebrows and a shocked expression.
Well, you shouldn't have asked if you... Wait a second. Give me the paper back. I forgot to include the two hijackers I whacked.
He writes a new number and hands paper back to Peter.
Oh my God, this is Luca. Do you realize this figure is the exact same numbers were on the Air India jet? You saved the lives of 270 people, and that's the exact number of people you indefinitely terminated in your career. There seems to be some kind of cosmic balancing act at play here.
Jay Baba.
I never thought about it. Just a coincidence. Or maybe there's something to it. Whatever. I just don't want to forget about it. My past life, and I remembering him.
Flight attendant over loudspeaker.
Please prepare for takeoff. Make sure your seatbelts are securely fastened and your seats are in the upright position.
Sound of jet engines revving. LUCA loudly to flight attendant as he fastens his seatbelt.
You're doing a great job, miss. You're a professional. The only thing missing in this flying casket is some 100-proof priest and a confessional. Never mind. I'll stay calm. This time I ain't blowing no gasket.
The end.
All right. Hey. All right, you can unmute your mics. Angela can unmute him. You want to do any sharing? Thank you. Great job, Cass.
Thank you, Joe.
Great job, Luca. Great job, Angela. Sandra.
Everyone take a bow. Jay Baba, that was fun.
How many people do we have?
Thank you, Joe. Thank you for your words.
Thank you for doing that.
Yeah, thanks for all the rehearsals. It was really fun.
Perfect. Really join the mafia, you know? I mean, you
Luca really is scary, isn't he?
I really enjoyed it.
thank you.
I do have one comment, feedback.
Sure.
I remember hearing a professional live music performance or a play or something on Zoom during COVID. And I would have liked to have been seeing the screen with all of you who are reading the way we are now, more than the script. I didn't find myself reading the script. I was listening to it, but it would have brought it to life even more if I could have seen all of you all together and seen you, full on as you were reading it.
Yeah, there was.
I felt that way.
Okay, that's good to know. There was a debate on which way to do it before we started.
Mm-hmm.
Do the full screen versus following the script, and I did it. I've done it both ways, and I wasn't sure. So it's good feedback to if I do this, do the full screen.
Yeah, I would have liked to seen big close-ups of each of the as you read your, which happens when the speaker gets emphasized. I have to agree. I didn't care about reading the script.
I just thought it'd be easier to comprehend it for people if they're following along. But
Well, wait a minute. What are you saying? He's putting words in my mouth.
Well, and that's the thing. Once you get into the play, you take on that character, even if you're not dressed like that character. I mean, Angela becomes the
What
stewardess.
character?
You become the mafia guy. Joe becomes this Google guy, and that's what we're seeing and hearing. So it doesn't matter whether you're wearing a costume or not.
Yeah.
I thought it would work with both, with the thumbnail and the script. But okay, that's good feedback. Next time I want to.
I actually did see it with the actors talking. There's a feature you can use up at the upper right hand corner.
Oh.
You switch it, then you'll.
Oh, yeah, the speaker view.
Right. Speaker view.
The
exactly.
only thing is
I
that the
didn't think
recording
of
will
that.
show the shared screen. So
Uh-huh.
I mean, the actors probably have to look at the script because they're reading it, of
Yeah.
course. But
we could independently read it.
I read it
That's
off the iPad.
It was a great, in a short play, you really encapsulated that notion of it was great. It was great. The 270, the magic number,
That's why Paulie was like,
yeah.
Luca was like 100.
My issue was that I'm recovering from 2 corneal transplants.
Oh,
That's why I couldn't put the eye patch on because I need both of these eyes right now, and it was very difficult to read.
I was wondering why you didn't do that.
Huh?
I was wondering why you didn't do that. Yeah, yeah.
Because I find it very difficult to even read the script. It's a lot we've rehearsed it a lot of times. So
You
Wow.
didn't need the eye patch. Your voice, the lingo did it. I didn't want to tangle with Lucas.
No, you don't want to get on the wrong side of Luca Bettinelli.
Play a while ago, so how did I know you're going to have eye problems? That was my
Good
the
prediction.
reason I had him speak in Dr. Seuss rhyme was to make him more likable and childlike. You got the guy who's, a mafia hitman. So I had to balance that out. He's afraid of flying. He's anxious. He's nervous. And he's attached to his mother. And he speaks is like a child. He speaks in Dr. Seuss rhyme. So that made him more likable, was the idea. If you're going to have an evil character, and it's a comedy, you want to make them likable in some way.
and for me, it was difficult for me to get the rhythm down of that. When
You did good. You did good.
when you think of a certain culture from a certain locale, they speak rhythmically themselves, almost in syllables, and then to try to make it rhyme like Dr. Seuss wasn't that easy as I thought it was going to be.
You did it, Joe, about
Hey,
Polly.
Joe, how about a prequel? You could write a prequel to this, how Luca came to Baba.
That's an idea. There's a whole possibility of
Lucas
Oh my
Baba
God.
story. Oh, let
That
him
didn't
tell
come
you
up.
himself.
Yeah, but that's a
That
story
could take a
from,
long time.
That's a story from Tajud and Baba, actually.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, he was looking for Mo, because when Baba brought Mo to New York, he was looking for him. Mo got loose, and he was looking for him, and he wound up in the Bronx. Yeah, he was behind a dumpster in the alleyway. And when Luca was gonna go make his hit, Mo popped up, and then Narayan came, and then Tajudin. It's a whole story. Joe will tell you
It's a
that.
whole story.
Are you just coming up with this now, Polly?
I'm just telling you what happened. I was there.
He was there.
I was the guy they were gonna kill.
Right.
Forget about it.
Right. So I gave you a Baba card, and that's what started.
That's all you got. All I got was a Baba card.
Right. All right. I want to take notes on that and follow up.
That's great. The prequel.
Pretty cool. And then we'll have the sequel when it's just shop in Maribon. We're gonna have that. It's a whole.
I love the way the number on the plane balanced
Yeah.
how many people he killed, and he didn't get the significance, but we do.
Oh, I
He
didn't.
had to add two more.
That
The
he
hijack-
whacked.
Oh, yeah.
the hijackers he whacked.
And I liked how the newscaster, modified with her narration, censored cutting stare.
Oh, I love the newscaster glasses,
I was
Ruthie.
gonna say,
Yeah, it's not great.
that's great.
Sandra's great.
Yeah, just like in this original story, I had to kill the messenger to get to 100. Luca had to kill two more hijackers to get his number to 270, which equals the number of passengers. Yeah.
A great story in just a little, what was it? A little over an hour? Yeah.
Less.
Yeah.
Less.
Under.
Okay.
I remember now how this came about. I was living in Chapel Hill, and I was reading a book about the mafia, and I was in the library, and I just wandered into the children's department and picked up a Dr. Seuss book. And at the same time, I think I had read that story when some book, the thing, and it all just coalesced into putting the three of us together.
It was about
That's
40
how Joe works.
Yeah.
It was 45 minutes instead of an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe we read a little fast.
I
It
think
went
that's a
quicker
lot.
this time, I guess, because we got the lines down and we weren't,
Yeah,
going-
yeah, we
We
weren't
stepped on
stopping.
each other a couple of times. At least I did, but
I did.
So that
I
but
was
thanks for the main feedback about having just
the
not put-
screen share.
Yeah, that's good. I wasn't sure. So now Now I know we tried it both ways, and people like.
It was absolutely understandable. We didn't need that script. It was clear as anything. Yeah, there wasn't
Yeah.
any question. Yeah.
All
And
right.
we have done plays like that in the past
Mhm.
on Baba Zoom where they didn't show the script. Yeah.
Mhm.
That
Well,
Shireen
that's
My
what I
play was
did.
great.
But the Shreemai play, we didn't show the script, and then the last two.
Right.
So okay, so that's good.
I've done plays where each individual actor has their own script on the screen,
Yeah,
and you know, and then they have the speaker view
right.
up, you know, many, you know, made smaller on the screen, so they can just read it as they go along.
That's the way to do it when you're having. That's what we did with the Shreemai play. They're looking at the screen, but they're looking at their script. But what the audience sees is their face, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Rob, you gotta maybe type in the comments or something how to do those settings for the next time.
Oh, no, I got it.
Actually, yeah, we got it. Yeah.
Okay.
When you screen share, you can actually choose how big or small the screen share part is. And then you can still do speaker view. You can also do meeting view.
There's another feature you can do if, say, the hide non-video participants. So in case you know, if the case that comes up on the screen, it's something. I can't explain it right now, but it's a feature under the video and the caret. There's a feature of hide non-video participants so that they don't show up on the screen.
Right.
Anyway,
So that you don't have to see them. Yeah.
yeah, you don't see them exactly. I do want to say, and when we're close to the end here, I am talking to Paul and Angela about playing another part in my play that I have about a career criminal and a housekeeper getting together to rob a home. And
LUCA.
yeah.
I'm feeling typecast.
You're back.
You'll never get out of that role.
Breaking the Baba house or something.
You have to start talking softer then. I don't know.
Do they break into a Baba house and
They break into a house, and the housekeeper decides the place is a mess, and she starts cleaning the place rather than robbing it. And then of course the career criminal is running late because he's not very disorganized. He just got he doesn't have his act together. But the compulsive cleaner is very orderly, is always shows up, and now she starts and they start having an argument about the merits of cleaning a home before the come home, so they won't be so mad at them for robbing cars. But I'm thinking I want to bring Baba in a little bit. There, I
Yeah,
do
it's a
have,
Baba's house, Baba lover's home. That could easily.
There you go.
yeah, we could do that. We could do that. Yeah, we could have it's a mess, but Baba's picture is on the wall.
yeah. I did a play once, and Angela was the mugger. I had this live twice. I've done it where a Baba. It's on Silence Day, and a Baba lover's walking through a rough neighborhood, and he gets mugged. And it's a mugger with a difference. A guy who's actually a spiritual seeker who's down and out, and so the Baba lover's not speaking, and he keeps silence, and the mugger takes this. Takes his backpack and he's fishing through his back. He's looking for money. The Baba lover has no money. He looks in his wallet, nothing, you know. And, and he's going through his backpack and he's got all these Baba books and buttons. He's trying to piece it together. Who is this guy? And the Baba lover's just using gestures. And so he starts off being real threatening, the mugger, but as the play goes on, he becomes more likable. And we find out he really is a spiritual seeker, and he's really paging through all these things of Baba, and he's the only one that talks in the play. And then he finally finds the diary of the Baba lover, and on July 9th he put in that he was last year he forgot and spoke a few words. This year he was definitely not going to break his silence, even if someone mugs me.
I got one for you. So a wise guy, he's gonna whack a guy, and he gets a matter of conscience. And it was actually his sanskaras, and Sai Baba elevates him to the fourth plane. Okay. And so he's in the fourth plane, and before you know it, there's a lot to it, but before you know it, he finds himself turned into a rock in Central Park. Okay. And and the play is called Philosopher's Stone.
Ah,
So he's a rock in Central Park next to a bench, a lot of things, Tex Hightower's in it, a couple of things happen on the bench. And then again, I told you that Mo got loose, and Mo comes and he urinates on the rock,
Uh,
but but Mo can see him.
right.
Oh.
And he says to Mo, get Dada, get Dada. It'll be a good one. It'll be a good one.
that's a good
Wow.
play, yeah.
And
Okay, so
they,
to talk about
they're
rocks, when I was living in Maribot, I did play with there was the Big Bang, and then these um, four or five rocks come rolling in. It was paper mache with a person behind, huge rocks, and one of them is the avatar of the rocks. It's Baba as a rock, and he's got these early disciples, and he's trying to get them to move on, to roll, to move, and they don't want to go anywhere. They just want to stay stuck. And so there's a whole interaction between the avatar rock, and the other ones.
I have a story I can share that goes back to my grandmother's era. She had some friends, and my grandmother would be probably 120 if she were alive today. But she had some friends who are 130 who were driving along, and they pick up this hitchhiker, this man by the road. It's a true story. And they befriend him. They share their picnic lunch with him. They ask him about his family and everything. And when they're letting him out of the car at his stop, he turns to them and he says, "Ladies, let this be a lesson to you. I plan to rob you, but you were so nice to me. I couldn't do it." Said, "So don't ever pick up strangers." And that was a true story.
It's
So,
interesting that actually my play centers around that, because I have the family come home in the middle of them trying to rob or clean the place. And they somehow convinced the homeowners that they were there to clean the place, not rob it. And they hired them to be housekeepers.
and
So
Polly,
that's a real story, Robert?
That's his play.
No, it's not a real story, but it is inspired by a real man that came into a home. I heard this from a criminologist. He came in a home to rob it, and the place was a mess, so he started cleaning the apartment instead. So that's where I got my inspiration from. I heard that and I had to run with it, and then I threw in more conflict with a career criminal wanting. Anyway, I don't want to steal time from Peter. From Joe. Joe, just your
I just
time.
wanted to say something if I could, Polly, the story about the stone, there's a new thing, and you guys, maybe it's not new, but they're actually taking the ashes now. When you die and you're cremated, they take the ashes and they make them into stones.
Oh.
And so you can put, like your mother and dad in the garden, and then, keep adding the family. So I just thought I would bring that up. It might be a nice touch, if these stones of other people were around anyway.
Sly and the Family Stones, right? I think the trick for me for make a play interesting, you got to have a really a character who's really out there, different, and you need to have conflict first of all, which started right away. He's in conflict with the Google exec, and you gotta have it. And actually, criminals make more interesting characters than saints, because if you just portray a saint, his ego is diminished, and where's the conflict going to come from? So that's why I like doing like the Bob Lover got mugged. The main character was a mafia character. To have a main character who's really out there and interesting, he's totally outside the arena what you think is spiritual, and but he is in his own way. Yeah. That to me is more. I find that more interesting in terms of stage drama than portraying the life of a saint, for instance.
What I found interesting is when they said what you needed for a costume, I just went to my closet.
We didn't see the white tie. I was looking for the white tie.
The closest I had.
Oh, okay. Oh, you don't quite see it oh, I see it just out of your screen. God.
And one last comment, that's why the next live I'm doing, hopefully, is on Baba's birthday, is Shireen Mai, Mother of God, portraying her. And no one's done a play about her in India and Mehrabad all these years. They've done plays in Shariar, but maybe I don't know what, maybe she didn't get it or she's not worth doing a whole play. But to me, her fighting, when Baba first got God realized, 1913, 14, she's fighting with Babajan, she's fighting with Apazan, she's fighting with Shariar, she's shaking Merwan. That to me is like a Shakespearean play, that because we have this powerful character trying to the whole world is falling apart, and that's how she's trying to get it back to normal. So that's going to be the play. But to me, her story in that period of time creates more dramatic interest to me than say portraying the life of so anyway, that's the next going to be the next.
So you were going to do that for the next Baba birthday, Joe?
Yeah, that's the plan. Yeah,
awesome. In India, in India.
No, at Myrtle Beach. I've had the script for a while.
This is the one that we done on Baba Zoom.
Yeah, we did the Baba Zoom, but I never did it live on stage. We're gonna do it live on stage.
Nice.
Because Roshni was an amazing Shireen Mai.
Yeah.
She was incredible. Yeah.
Okay, so some of you saw it. So, but it's going to be more powerful when you do it on stage live.
Maybe we can conscript Mara Bloom.
That's it. Well, that's what.
Yeah.
I forget which one was Mara. Who did she play?
No, we're going to ask Mara Bloom. Well, you're right. That's already asked her.
And Marla Faith was a really good Mani, I thought.
Oh, she was so sweet.
Roshani from Mumbai.
Roshni, yeah.
Yeah, she played.
She was amazing.
She was amazing. She was so heartfelt. My goodness, yeah.
Okay, then you remember it though. How desperate she was.
Oh,
trying to get her life. She wants Baba, her son, to be an engineer, get married, and yeah. So, but just a little play stuff here. Where do you open a play? You open it right at the point where the main character has lost something that's like extremely vital. It's extremely significant to them. Okay, or they're about to do something that's really scary, like LUCA getting on the plane. That's the scariest. But it's a big life thing. You open it right at the point where in Hamlet, his father had been killed by his mother and his uncle, and his ghost, the father's ghost, appears to Hamlet right there in the opening of the play. It's right. So the murder, it just happened not that long ago, and now he's okay. So that's the tricky thing. That's why I had to start on the runway here. He's right, because you want to start as close to the scariest thing, and that's about to happen, so he's right on the runway. The plane's about to take off. His anxiety is off the scale, and that's when the scene opens, rather than at passport control or something like that. Anyway,
I bet a lot of you never realized how close Al Grasso came to getting whacked.
Oh, really?
Now, was that intentional? Were you?
He changed the name. Wasn't that cute? Al better watch this.
He better watch it to defend himself.
So, thank you.
Luca Benton is on his way.
right.
I've got to go. We're going to hit the
Thanks,
road.
everybody. Thanks for coming. Really,
Yay!
Thank
Thanks. This was
you.
great. Thank you,
Yeah.
everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
No, you could consider seeing if Roshni would come over for. She should see Myrtle Beach once. That'd be a great trip to have her.
Oh my God, that would be an amazing trip.
all right.
Bob, everybody.
Hey, Bob.
Hey, Baba.
Bye,
Hey, Baba.
Luca. Until the prequel.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you.
everybody.
Thank you.
It was
Everybody.
wonderful.
Oh, good.
Let me say something to Robert. If you actually write that play and you want,
I've already written it. I had it up on stage.
but
I have to do some rewrites if I want
Let's
to.
tweak it to a Baba.
Yeah, we should tweak it for a tour. But I'm constantly at.
all right.
But yeah, we're looking at.
Actually, look.
I'm
Gotta
sorry.
get Patrick's plans done.
You're looking at what? Did
Need
you-
to play.
Oops.
I'm
oh,
sorry.
what was- Robert said something. You already did it. You looking to what? To stage it?
No, I've already staged it. I did a stage reading of it a few weeks ago.
Oh, cool.
And it was very well received. I have to have a recording of not the actual performance, we couldn't do that, but the first table read. I have an audio recording of that. So I'm gonna share that with Paul. I'm gonna be bunking with Paul this weekend. We're gonna be going to the Northeast Gathering in New
Bring.
Jersey this weekend. So I'll be talking to Paulie about it.
Cool. Sounds good. Sounds like a good play. All right. Thank you. Thank you all. Have a
We're
great-
All right.
looking at doing it in September. Looking at doing it in
Thanks,
September.
Joe.
We have plenty
Or
of time.
maybe earlier.
Yeah.
Or maybe earlier.
Yeah, I mean, September was if we were going to do it live, but we can do it earlier on Baba Zoom.
Going on Baba Zoom here, yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool.
I'd be willing to be one of the actors or something too.
Yeah, I'm sure he could be useful.
Angela, Paul has my email and everything, so and phone number.
Cool.
We got cast.
There you go.
Yay.
I've already got some people in mind, but
All right.
Oh,
I mean,
ouch.
you're on Zoom.
oh no, I've got you in mind, Angela.
What about Joe?
Do it on.
Joe could maybe do the stage direction.
Yeah, if you do,
Oh, there you go.
yeah, whatever. Yeah, okay, doesn't matter.
Cool.
All right.
All right.
Hey, bye.
All right.
Jay Baba, that was
Hey,
great.
Baba. See you, Baba.
Hey, Baba.